Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, HaKodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And to you, Akim, out there pushing this truth, risking your lives in freedom more so than ever. All right, shalom to the elect. All right, back at you with another lesson. I have, through the spirit, I'm just watching all the damage going on with, just something like my last lesson, but just a little more in depth. Well, my last lesson was about the C hip. So Salakia. So we're gonna go into the evils that these modern Babylonian women are, accomplices of, and how it's prophecy and how the destruction is going to come hard on women, especially the Jake women, right? But Esau's catching hell too. And to be a little bit more spiritual, this video I'm going to show, the man probably not even a Edomite, man. He probably Jake, you never know. But Esau's catching hell too, though. You know what I'm saying? But check it out.
I'm a girl.
Who told you you're a girl? You're a boy, right?
No, I'm a girl.
Who told you you're a girl?
Mommy,
When did she tell you you were a girl?
'cause I love girls.
Oh, I see. So mommy told you you were a girl? The state of California says that I have to pay for the chemical and physical castration of my son as child support. I'm not going to pay that child support. I'm not going to pay anything.
That right there falls into the unrighteous decrees, all right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to go there, all right? And then we're going to go back to that because you hear what he just said. Unrighteous decrees. Bear with me here, just kind of get there. That Isaiah 10. I like to go into the NLT too, so we're going to read this. Then we're going to go into the NLT, and then we're going to go back to the video. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory? All right, so first of all, it's Esau, Edom, in this kingdom, and how he puts his rules and stuff like that. He has to pay, and then it goes down to whoever is following that shit and just like following the Satan's decrees and sitting there destroying their family with it, which is majority's fucking women. All right, and it's exhausting. All right, and payment of what they've done has to come. The judgment has to come. All right, let's continue.
California is going to send me to prison for that. So, Jeff, you are going through something. You've been going through something that is probably a father's worst nightmare. Yeah. Tell me when this started. Started when my son was about 2 years old. My ex-wife, who's a pediatrician in Capel, Texas, then socially transition him, and that led to a titanic battle in the state of Texas that culminated in me getting the procedures outlawed in Texas. And the political establishment in Texas allowing her to come to California so she could still castrate him even though I got it outlawed. And your son, you have two sons. I have two sons, James and Jude. They're twins. They're not identical. James is the one that she's transitioning. And was there any sign in James that he was open to this or showing signs that he wanted to be anything other than... Well, it's interesting. So he was directly asked that by counselors and stuff. But let me just tell you about one of the fundamental facts of the case that a lot of people find shocking. James never presented as a girl with anyone but his mom. At church, with me, with his friends, he dressed as a boy and called himself James. He only presented as a girl with his mom.
The wicked programming these women do, all right? The wicked programming of their children to fuck their kids up, man. It's diabolical, man. I have a testimony, man. My son isn't, he wasn't affected in such a way where the kid is putting on dresses and all that shit, but his mom married a woman. We live here in Illinois. His mom married a woman, had relations with a woman, a few women, in the presence of my son, and also took my son all the way to Atlanta, the mecca of that weird ass shit. And I didn't see my son in like 3 years. The evil, man, that was plaguing what was going on, man, that kept and I had to go to court and fight for him, And when I got him, the Lord blessed me with custody. I got him, and I deprogrammed all the bullshit because he wasn't taught right from wrong. He wasn't fucked up in no sodomitish way or nothing like that. But, he wasn't taught what daddy could teach him righteously. All right, but let's continue.
And I asked him one time, why are you doing that? And he just flat out told me, he said, well, mommy doesn't love me if I'm not a girl. And that's what he told the counselors too. James is a very talented boxer. I'm a boxer, my dad was a boxer. James is extremely talented. Jude's a wrestler, but James is a very talented boxer. Olympic talent scouts were looking at him. He's that good. And they backed away from him once this all got started. He has all boy friends. Now, he has some things that you might say are feminine. He likes art. He particularly likes painting and pastels. My son Jude likes sculpture,
I got to bring the scripture out, man. The scripture, matter of fact, I said I was going to bring the NLT out too. I gotta be a man of my word of this NLT, and then I'm going to bring out the other scripture. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1, what I just recently got, but I got it in NLT. What sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws. They deprive the poor of justice and deny the right to the needy. Among my people, they prey on widows and take advantage of orphans. What will you do when I punish you? What would these people do? When I send disasters upon you from a distant land, and whom will you turn for help? Where will your treasure be safe? Because that's abuse, man. That's abuse to sit up there and get your kid and put your kid in that type of situation, and then, even these fucking devils, man, that implicate those laws, that's been implicating those laws, man. That's fucking wicked, man. And that judgment has to come. They won't be able to escape, right? Hell, my wife's a school teacher, and I go in there, man, and I was volunteering, and I was in a line of volunteers to sign in, right? And that line was full of sodomites volunteering at an elementary school, bro. No lie. This is what I seen. And this was at least 2-3 weeks ago. This fucking line was full of women trying to be men and men. Weird shit, man. Like for real, bro. You know, we in this type of world. And let's do children of our oppressors. I bring this out a lot because it's really the truth. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy path. Now, when that man said, James was a good boxer, and he had Olympic scouts coming towards him, and Olympic scouts ready to deal with him. So because of his skill, you know, that's why you never know. These people might be, he might be an Israelite. You know, you never know because Israel, Jay good at boxing. You know what I'm saying? But they backed off because of what the mother has programmed into the young man, causing his path into error. All right, let's go back.
Play with almost anybody, you know, and he will definitely play with girls. He'll play tag with girls. He'll build things with girls. He has no problem like hanging around with girls. But in terms of having a desire to be a girl, he consistently told me for 10 years that he had no desire to be a girl. He told the court-appointed counselor that he was embarrassed to wear dresses to school. He was getting too old for that. He didn't want to wear dresses. And they initiated a CPS investigation against me for forcing him to be a boy in my 7th CPS investigation. And you have contact with your sons now? No, he disallowed all contact with my sons. Not allowed to even contact them now. She started transitioning him, you know, really hardcore at 3. I mean, where she presented him to the world with a fake girl's name and everything. This, of course, would have been an important component in the divorce that was going on. So we get to 2017, and we have our divorce trial, and we had a custody evaluator. His name is Blake Mitchell. He practices out of Frisco, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas. And he asked me, what is your top issue? And I said, my top issue is she's tampering with my son's gender identity. So he charges me $60,000 and does a 1-year investigation of my family. Interviewing my children over and over again and everything.
You see what they've done? Charge this man because this man is concerned about the tampering of what a woman's doing with his child, his son. He gets charged 60 fucking... Come on, man, that should piss you off. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Interviewed his kids, just fucking this whole family over, you know?
And determines that she was not transitioning my son to a girl. He straight up lied to the court and said that I had made a false accusation against transition my son to a girl. And on that basis, I lost 50-50 custody and got less than standard possession time. So basically got, 4 to 6 days a month with my sons. So that's how the divorce ended, with the psychologist just outright lying. Now, I've been lucky with these psychologists that lie. I've been able to prove they've lied, so the court actually set aside his report. But that's what he actually told the court in his report. So she then started really ramping up again, and now he's using
Psychology, physicians of no value, forgers of lies. Let's bring that out because that's heavy, all right? This is Job. Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. All right? So these people are among your children with these fucking degrees talking about psychology and not doing anything to help nothing because they are liars. They create lies to destroy. and they have no type of real things for the kids' mindset. They fuck them up more. Let's continue.
Elementary school, which was Pinkerton Middle School in Capel, Texas. I got that school shut down. That school doesn't exist anymore in Capel. They're shut down. Got rid of the principal there. Her name is Miss Mickelson, who's the one that really transitioned my son. And I found out after 2.5 years, they had been transitioning my son secretly behind my back. So I would bring my son to Pinkerton Middle School in Capel in boys' clothes, because he wears boys' clothes with me. And they would give him a dress and tell him to use the girls' bathroom. And when I found that out, I filed grievances against the public school. And of course, they exonerated themselves, saying that under their nicknames policy, they're allowed to call him whatever he wants. And they're allowed to put him in dresses because he wants to wear it and it doesn't harm him in any way. And so there was just no place to go. It's virtually impossible in Texas to sue a school district because they have sovereign immunity. So this kept ramping up with my ex-wife until finally I look in the medical records with my ex-wife chose a pediatrician, Dr. Jennifer Pape, in Flower Mound, Texas, where I live. And Dr. Pape, in the medical records, it says that her and Miss Georgilis, my ex-wife, were planning on seriously castrating James at age 8 or 9. That's plain black and white in the medical records. So obviously I start to vociferously oppose this. I try to get a new pediatrician. I have to go to court to try to get a new pediatrician. That leads her to file another lawsuit against me for sole control of James.
So they were, at what age were they looking to do this?
At age 8 or 9, they were going to chemically castrate.
Wicked as fuck, all right? That is just diabolical, all right? I got a few more vids that are clearly craziness. But like this eater might be, be cooking. He's cooking. Check it out.
1965. Black. God damn, God bless this man. Somebody had to say. So we have spent $30 trillion on the social welfare system since 1965. Black people are poorer, and the single motherhood went from 25% to now 75 to 80%. So the more money we've spent on Black America, the less fathers we have, because Black women divorced Black men and married the government. God damn, God bless this man.
Yeah, he ain't lied. That's no lie told. All right, no lie told, man, because that's the truth. All right, let's go. Let me go to 14 to 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 14. I will therefore that the younger woman marry and bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Now, feminism, which was a CIA operation, has feminism and these welfare and all that shit is pretty much hindered the woman to marry and bear children and to deal with her family and to guide the house. They got into this independent shit. Give none occasion to, and then they talk crazy about their men, disrespect their men, for some are already turned aside after Satan, So, when a woman goes to the government and marries the government instead of her man, because the natural order is Yahushua ahead of man, and man is the head of woman, and these women are out of order on that level, all right? Then you have them getting their substance from the government, and the government's doing it purposely, and the women thinking that it's, that's why you have that scripture, ye women that are at ease, all right? Let's get it. All right. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Why are they at ease? Because the government has gave them these victuals, and the government has gave them all this money like the man was talking about. Now they're at ease. They, hear ye voice, ye careless daughters. They became careless. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail. And look, the president now today has taken away the government assistance, the SNAP, housing. These women are finna be out there on the streets. All that shit's over with. Esau's left hand bullshit is starting to, man, and then it's going to that, and she that is mine enemy. And the gathering shall not come. Tremble ye women that are at ease. Be ye troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. All right? They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. All right? So it's finna be over with, man. It's finna be over with.
Okay,
The end. All right?
Okay, let's bring
The
out our
end.
next single guy.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Got one more, then I'm gonna close it out. No, I got two more actually.
Say you
Look at
have
this.
to be LGBT. No, I think she's what I want to be, but something. What?
Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead, keep talking. Say what you're saying.
The kid had enough. He gonna keep it real.
Mom doesn't matter if I am gay or lesbian or any of that. She doesn't care. All she cares about is that I'm a part of it. And if I'm not a part of it, she'll try to convince me to join it. Cause
What are you saying right now?
You see the brother like, oh shit, he's, you know what I'm saying? They programming him.
facts.
That I would convince you to join what?
The LGBTQIA plus community. Mom say you have to be.
Esau, Esau getting tired of this shit too. Esau like, man, you're not gonna do, it's crazy. Look at this, and we finna end it up. These are little girls, man. These little girls that didn't have any structure, no father in their life. The women are ruling over these little girls. Moms listen and judge them. We listen and we judge the mama. You know what I mean? Look at this shit.
Wow.
All that weave in the head. Well, that scripture I brought out, that the older women teach the younger women, and these older women are teaching these younger women this crap. Terrible, man. It's terrible. Completely terrible, man. That. And that's it. With that, hope the elect was edified. I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Yaikwab. Till next time, Shalom. Kwam Yasharallah.